Zach, the Strasburg lieutenant, was a station pilot at the time, and after saving Dan in a runaway accident, he now got his very own branch line with 3 coaches named Jessica, Vanessa, and Michelle. When he is not one of his coaches, he can often take the express or freight on the main line. But Zach liked his passenger coaches very much. The 3 friends had many adventures together, just like the time that Zach impatiently left the conductor behind. Though they were both old and worn out, and unfortunately began to deteriorate, Mr. Hamilton noticed and spoke to Zach one morning. Jessica, Vanessa, and Michelle are in desperate need of repairs, said Mr. Hamilton. So tomorrow, they must go to the works for a much-needed overhaul. But sir, what will I pull in the meantime? Said Zach nervously. Mr. Hamilton smiled. Well, Zach, I just bought 2 new Great Western 4-wheeled coaches from the Great Western Railway on trial, and I would like you to try them out. Zach was very worried. He didn't want Mr. Hamilton to replace his old coaches. The next day, William took his coaches to the works. Goodbye, Zach, said Jessica. Hope we will come back, said Michelle. We agree, said Vanessa. Zach smiled. Take care. Hope you 3 get repaired soon. He wondered if they would ever come back soon. However, when the 2 new coaches did arrive, he forgot to be worried and was astonished. George, Jason, and Joe have their eyes glued. Just look at these new coaches, Jason. Absolutely magnificent. I have to agree with you, Jason. Those look splendid. You know, said George, if I have a branch line service, then those will be the coaches that I will pull. 3 of the branch line engines watched as Zach buffered up as the conductor yelled, "All aboard!" Zach blew his whistle and started off. Who's that engine pulling us? Said the first coach. I don't know, but he's very hard working, said the second coach. So, you 2, what are your names? He said as he awkwardly popped out of the station. Susie and Katie, they said. We were both built by the Great Western Railway in Paddington, but living in America for a change, that would be very nice. Before they could finish, Zach went on a sharp curve on the main line. They both put on their brakes. Holy Strasburg, cried Zach. Sorry about that, said Susie. We sometimes brake when we go into sharp curves. Me and my sister have unfortunately have 1 brakes. You were saying something? Oh yeah, me and my sister have some 1 brakes on the Great Western. Oh dear, sounds terrible. The journey was very difficult. Susie and Katie's brakes are fidgety, which made starting up again extremely difficult. When Zach arrived at the next station, he felt really exhausted. Randy was there. Oh, hello, Zach. You feel very exhausted. I'm fine, but Susie and Katie have fidgety brakes. Oh, Zach. He is still a hard-working fellow, isn't he, Katie? Said Susie. Quite so, Susie, said Katie. I mean, Mr. Hamilton wouldn't mind if we would be on his branch line consist. Come on, old boy, we're running late, said his driver. Cinders and ashes, cried Randy. I gotta go. Guess I'll see you later then, Zach. And Randy puffed away. Guess I gotta go too, said Zach. Both engines whistled to each other as they left. Every time Susie and Katie went on a curve, they both applied their brakes, which made the journey even more difficult. But Zach tried to carry on. Soon, they arrived at the next station to drop some passengers off. "Well done, old boy," said his driver. "Now you have to make it up the hill." "The hill?" cried Zach. Now he was even more worried than ever. He was really nervous too. "Susie, Katie, I'm really not sure if I can make it up the hill." "Yes, you can, Zach. Just try your best," said Susie. "You can do this, Zach," said Katie. "Okay," said Zach nervously. Zach tried to make it up the hill, but he is losing steam. Losing steam, but he carried on. "Do it!" panted Zach. I think I can. "Zach, can you stop referencing the little engine that could? That will give us copyright," said his driver. "Oh, sorry," said Zach. Last, he reached the top of the hill. "Hooray! I did it! I did it!" said Zach excitedly. "Steady, boy," said his driver. "You got them! You got them! Well done!" "You done it! Hooray! You done it! Hooray!" sang the coaches. Everyone was very excited, including Zach. All thanks to Susie and Katie's encouragement for him to keep going as the hill went nearer and nearer. "I'll get to the station or burst, or if it's the last thing I'll do," said Zach. "Now that's the spirit, old boy," said his driver. At Northhouse Station where Franklin was there. Zach uncoupled the coaches and was going to be on the turntable to be turned round for the return journey. Meanwhile, Franklin was about to take a boxcar train to Highland Valley. "Oh, hey Zach," said Franklin. "What you doing?" "Well, Franklin, I'm gonna be turned round for the return journey," said Zach. After he turned around, he coupled up to his coaches and made the return journey back to the station. "See you later, Franklin," said Zach. "Oh, see you later, Zach," said Franklin, calling out far away. Trains were punctual, and they were on a roll again. What a beautiful day this is, said said Susie. You said it, Susie, said Katie. Even the passengers enjoyed riding on the train downhill. But little did they know, they were about to become a runaway disaster. Zach was still going well with his passenger run until, is anyone speeding up for some reason? Replied Zach. No, said the coaches. Wait a minute, said Zach. Zach's driver realized, oh crap, Zach, your brakes! What? Oh crap. He didn't realize that Susie and Katie's brakes are actually fidgety. What shall I do? I can't stop. Help! Help! Cried Zach. But Zach didn't know what to do. The passengers are all screaming in agony. Now Zach felt really scared. Oh, help! Cried Zach. He had also been in a runaway since he took Isabella's freight train without permission. Slow down, cried the coaches. The passengers are scared and frightened too. We want to get off, they shouted. What shall I do? He cried. Zach tried to apply his brakes, but he knows that this will make things worse. So he tried to for the sake of his passengers and his coaches. Zach applied his brakes as hard as ever he could. There's the station. Oh dear, what shall I do? He cried as the station came nearer and nearer. Last, they arrived at the station. Remarked Zach. We must never ever let this happen. Never again. Both Susie and Katie agreed. But eventually, his wheels were being worn by his brakes. You can have a rest, Zach. Dan should do your work, said Mr. Hamilton. Yes, sir, said Zach. The next day, Dan was very cross and bumped Susie and Katie hard. This made Susie and Katie very cross. How dare you bump us like that, said Susie. Someone ought to teach you some manners, said Katie crossly, agreeing with her sister. Shut up and come on, huffed Dan. Before the conductor could yell all aboard, Dan had suddenly set off from the station. My, what a rude engine, said the coaches to themselves. And unlike Zach, he was very irritated. These aren't coaches, they're cattle cars, Dan said to himself. How dare you insult us like that, snapped Susie. You don't know how to pull coaches properly, you Pennsylvanians. Dan felt very offended, so he bumped his coaches hard, just like the time that he also banged the coaches while he was pulling his own passenger train. The journey wasn't nice at all. Neither is the journey back. Then, as they approached a sharp bend, there was trouble. Dan passed William, who was pulling the breakdown crane. He was very angry that he did not even pay attention. By the moment he realized it, it was too late. Instead of a shriek, there had been a crash, and Dan and Susie and Katie suddenly came off the rails. You idiot coaches, Look what you did, said Dan. Look what we did. We were just trying to help you out, snapped Susie. If you hadn't argued for 1 minute, you see it will be us who needed some help now, said Katie crossly. Dan felt very silly indeed. He had a lot to think about, even though William arrived with the breakout crane. Zach and Mr. Hamilton was very cross. He spoke to Dan severely. Dan, you should know better to bump my coaches, said Zach. Zach's right, said Mr. Hamilton. Dan, you should have known better for bumping Zach's coaches today. I'm so sorry, Zach and sir, but I'm sure that my anger got the best of me for bumping these coaches hard and me not paying attention to the speed limit. Dan felt even more sillier than ever. And I'm terribly sorry for calling your coaches, cattle cars, said Dan sadly. They're just mean whenever I come up to them. Well, that's because you're being rude to them, said Zach. That's not how you treat coaches like that, said Zach. You should treat them with respect and kindness. Well, Zach, I'm terribly sorry for not treating your coaches with respect and kindness. I promise not to do it again. Would you ever please forgive me? Said Dan. Of course I will, said Zach. Before Zach and Dan can become friends, Jason had arrived with Jessica, Vanessa, and Michelle, who got back from repairs. I believe those coaches are yours, Zach. Well, guess we aren't needed anymore, said Susie. Our loan has been passed, said Katie. Oh, don't worry, said Zach. Mr. Hamilton is going to get some new coaches for our branch line contest. Yeah, I'm very sorry for not treating you two with respect, said Dan. That's alright, said Susie and Katie together. Zach is very happy that the green coaches are back and loved having 2 new coaches as his friends. When Jason left the yards to get his own passenger train, Zach coupled up to his coaches. Jessica, Vanessa, and Michelle, and went back to the other side for Susie and Katie. He also covered up to Susie and Katie. It's great to see you 3 are back. Now come along, we're right away. Zach sang. We're coming along, said Jessica, Vanessa, Michelle, Susie, and Katie. He was very grateful to have Jessica, Vanessa, Michelle back on the branch line. They will always be